People think that comedian's always going to be the center of attention and what have you. Oh, you must be great at parties. I'm really not. I mean, I'm really kind of itching to get out of the party. You know, I don't want to go to the parties because I don't want to do the chit chat.
What's up, everybody? This is Sebastian Maniscalco here for my Us Weekly cover story at the Four Seasons Hotel, where it all started for me in 1998. Little known fact, 2002, I was voted Los Angeles hottest server, and I still got the trophy at home on my mantle. Also, one of the most dynamic servers in Los Angeles, in the fact that I could also use my left hand serving and then transition to the right hand. Ambidextrous, here we go.
Yeah, I left here 2005, and for the viewers, we just had a issue with some sound, right? So the lights were making a humming sound, and you guys were like, oh, we shut the lights off. Now, I knew that there's no switches around here, that you'd have to get a manager involved. And then by the time they find the manager, you know, it's going to be noon. So it brought me back to when I was working here and we had an issue with either lighting or air conditioning. You had to get like a manager involved to like adjust that. There's no switches in here to lower anything because they don't want the employees touching anything. So I remember waiting on Al Pacino. I remember the table numbers for some odd reason. He was on table 138 by himself, having tea, talking to himself. I don't know if he was like going over his lines or what have you. And then, you know, fast forward, I think 2019, I was in a movie with Al Pacino, an Irishman. I waited on Robert De Niro outside on table 141. I remember that he constantly was eating almonds and wanting refresh on the almonds. And then 2022, he plays my father in a movie. So yeah, it was kind of, a lot of celebrities came through here. I remember Shaq was one of the best tippers that I ever waited on. He used to come in, leave $100 under, used to order a fruit plate and a cappuccino, and just used to, no bill, no nothing, just left $100. So yeah, I had a great time here. A lot of stories came out of here. I have a problem with like enjoying any success just because of the way I grew up. It's, I'm not Mr. Positivity. I know that seems to be very fashionable nowadays on Instagram, like, oh, positive, I get up and I do my affirmations and I have a vision board and I write down what I want to do and all this stuff. It's not really my style. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like my fear is like failing. It's not, I don't know. When I succeed, I always feel like it's gonna go away. So it makes me work harder to kind of keep that level of success, because if I kind of rest on the fact that I've done what I've done, I feel like I might lose my edge. So I feel like it's extremely hard to keep and sustain the success. I think it's easier maybe to get there. It's harder to like sustain it because now there's an expectation. You put a Hulu special out. This better be equal to or better than the last one I did. So it's a lot of pressure, but it's kind of who I am. So it's not like, it's just kind of who I am in life. And I'm always kind of thinking of the worst. The problem is I don't live in the moment. I'm always thinking of what's next week, what's next year, what's 2 years from now, when am I gonna die? You know, it's like that whole mentality. Well, I know, I'm 52, right? And I got a 6-year-old kid. So right. I always do the math of like, all right, where am I gonna be when this kid gets married? Right. A wheelchair. Yeah, but I've learned, I think, within the last year or two to kind of slow down, smell the roses a little bit more. I got from my wife. My wife is kind of more of the positive one in the relationship, very, like, hey, let's enjoy this. Proudest moments for me actually is having my family around, sharing in a lot of these different moments. Like, for example, doing a movie that I co-wrote starring Robert De Niro as my father, and having my father on set teaching De Niro how to do blowouts and dye jobs, because in the movie, my father is a hairstylist and that's what he is in real life, and De Niro wanted to know how to do those things. So he called my father to the set for 5 days, and here I am with my dad on set watching him teach De Niro how to be a hairdresser. And I mean, I never would have thought having the Casino poster on my wall as a kid and having that guy play my dad was pretty surreal. And where I felt proud is having my dad alive to even see that. So yeah, I don't have like I don't have like I made it moment, because a lot of it is just, I never really thought about, oh, I made it. I thought I made it when I was selling out comedy clubs, To me, that was like, okay, I made it. I'm making a living doing what I love to do. And everything kind of after that could be a I made it moment, because, a lot of things are special to me. I mean, starring in a movie, selling out these arenas, doing a TV show. I did a TV show with Tony Danza, who was playing my father. Never got picked up, but here I am going, this is Tony Banta from Taxi, and who's the boss, and he's playing my dad. So yeah, I could not pinpoint an I made it moment, because there's a lot of moments in my career where I say, wow, this is pretty. Getting shot in the back by De Niro and an Irishman in a gangster movie, getting directed by Martin Scorsese could be like, yeah, I'm just thinking about it now. Sometimes I don't even think about it, because I don't generally look back. So I'm always looking forward, but yeah. Yeah, so I've always stayed away from like current events, politics, what have you, just because I have always thought whatever my father is doing is a hell of a lot funnier than what the president is doing at the current moment. So, and you're getting hit over the head with all this bad news and politics on a day-to-day, from the iPhone to the TV to the iPad. It's just so overwhelming that when you go out for a night of entertainment, I believe the people want to escape that. They don't want to like dive back into it and hear a spin a certain way. So I just never thought it was particularly funny to talk about. I like talking about things that people do on a day-to-day basis. I like talking about my life, my experiences, my kids, what I'm going through as a parent, how I'm dealing with the parenting of today opposed to how I grew up. Just at my kid's soccer game, and at the end of the game, they're handing out blow pops, popcorn, fruit roll-ups, and I'm like, we just played soccer, and now we're giving the kids junk food. It's just like I remember getting like an orange slice growing up, and now they're giving out like candy, and no one's saying anything. And like that to me is like a start of a bit that I'm going to develop, and it's relatable to not only parents, but even people who don't have kids who remember having the orange slice in the 80s. So yeah, I just rather talk about that than what's happening with the current administration. It just doesn't even sound like fun. It ain't right to wear Invisalign retainers in public. I got a huge problem with people. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon. It's a meeting and they have their Invisalign retainers in. This is for nighttime. Because I cannot not look at the retainers. I feel like you gotta keep that in private. It's not so much the career that they think is funny. I mean, Daddy definitely is funny, but Daddy is also the disciplinarian, so that kind of equals out me being funny. They think I'm funny, but I'm also I set the rules in the home. They're beginning to realize that Daddy, is in the public eye. I mean, we went down Sunset Boulevard, and there was a large billboard on the side of a building with myself and Omar Dorsey when Bookie was out, and they're like, Daddy, that's you. But it's not how I grew up looking at entertainment, because I was looking at it from afar, going, oh my God, where is Hollywood, dude? Like, could people even go there? And they're growing up in it, so this is kind of their norm. It's not like it's something that they're seeing it as it's happening. So yes, they are understanding it. And for me, I'm very cautious about telling my kids about, listen, they're growing up in a different life than I grew up in. I grew up in a working middle class. There was struggle. There was, we went to McDonald's, and I was aware that my father might not be able to swing. Not that he'd be able not to afford it, but I never wanted to put him in a position where he would have to get me the Big Mac, but he really wanted to pay for a double cheeseburger or whatever. So I tell my kids that this is not normal, that, I give them chores, they have to make their bed. The sense of entitlement is not there with them, because I'm so conscious of keeping them grounded, because I know where this could go. I've seen it. I've seen a lot of families that the kid is 30 years old in the basement playing video games, soaking off his parents. I don't want that for my kids. I want them to be happy, number one, and number two, I want them to be I just want them to pay their own bills. I always like to put myself in the shoes of the people, and I find self-deprecation humor really works with me. I went to the Oscars, right? But my Oscar story is not one of fame and fortune. It's one of me sitting up in the third balcony while everybody from the Green Book is accepting the Oscar, because it's a whole story, but I didn't get to sit with the group. I was basically up with the seat fillers. I ended up falling down the stairs at the Oscars. It was a nightmare going on the red carpet at the Oscars. And Nicole, you know this. It was at the point in my career where Denzel Washington went out, and it was like lightning. It's like you couldn't even see him. He was engulfed in light. And then, Kevin Costner went out. This is on the red carpet. And then it was my turn to go out, and the publicist had to come out and announce me. They're like, everybody, this is Sebastian Maniscalco. And when you're announced, it was like, I went out there, and it was like a piss break for the photographers. They were cleaning their lenses. They're like, who? And I'm like, I'm in the Green Book, nothing. And then there's a press line at the Oscars. So I noticed that Ryan Seacrest was, he had a camera guy. He was on a pedestal. He was lights, and there was an audio guy. There was all these people around him, which I didn't get to talk to him, where they took me down all the way as you go down press row. At the end, you could tell at the end, it's like the guy is a one-man shop. He's got the iPhone in his mouth recording you. He gives you a little a furry microphone. He's got a light coming off his back. He's from the Ecuador Times. That's the guy I was talking to at the Oscars. I didn't get to talk to Mario Lopez.